Child labor is a widespread violation of children's rights fueled by poverty and lack of education, but through awareness and action, we can eliminate this just injustice and secure a better future for all children. Imagine waking up every day before dawn, not to go to school, but to work factory or field, where your hands will work tirelessly for hours. This is the reality for millions of children across the globe today. As someone who has done some research on labor practices and their impact on children, I am here to shed light on this issue that demands urgent attention. Whether you're a student or a parent or simply someone who values fairness and human rights, this issue affects us all. Child labor cycles of poverty, weaknesses, economics, and violates fundamental human rights. Today, I will discuss the reality of child labor, its causes, the solutions we can implement, and how you can eradicate this issue. Efforts to reduce child labor, including improving access to education, strengthening labor laws and enforcement, reducing poverty, and increasing public awareness about the consequences of child labor. Programs that provide financial support to families, such as conditional cash transfers, can also help children in school and out of the workforce. Child labor affects over 160 million children globally, UNICEF 2022. These children are deprived of education, forced into hazardous work, and robbed of their childhood. Child labor exists due to a combination of social, economic, and cultural factors. Children are most often involved in child labor because their parents or guardians consider it normal for children to work, and sometimes for children own survival and that of their families. When talking about child labor, it is important to understand it from the family's perspective of the children's families and communities themselves. Families living in extreme poverty often have no choice but to send their children to work to survive. In many regions, schools are inaccessible or unaffordable, leaving children with no other option to work. Between October 1st, 2022 and July 20th, 2023, a 16 McDonald's franchise location in Louisiana and Texas, children as young as 14 operated dangerous equipment and worked long and late hours. The Department of Child Labor said this week, 2 months earlier in a Louisville, Kentucky McDonald's, the 2 of 10-year-old working without pay until as late as 2 a.m., preparing and serving meals, working the drive-thru and cash registers, and cleaning the restaurants, according to a Department of Labor release. Economic support to families. Provide families in poverty with financial aid, job opportunities, and social safety nets. Different charts on child labor. Cases with child labor violates minors employed in violation, FY 2024, 736, 4,030. Minors per case, 5. Different graphs. Most children in child labor are working in agriculture. 5 to 11 years, 76.6. 12 to 14 years, 75.8. Government should ensure free, accessible education for all children. While these solutions will work, programs like Brazil, Barcelona, Familia have significantly reduced child labor by offering financial indices for school attendance. World Bank 2021. Providing education directly addresses the root cause of literacy and poverty cycles. Establishing higher practices that prioritize fair treatment and compliances with labor laws to ensure businesses do not exploit children. For example, requiring proof of age documents and conducting through background checks can prevent underage hiring. The International Labor Organization reports that strengthen higher policies reduce child labor industries that adopt them. Countries with strict age verification processes, like Brazil, have seen significant reductions in child labor rates. Regular audits ensure companies comply with labor laws and discourage unethical practices. Independent third-party audits can verify that organizations are not employing children or engaging in exploitative practices. 2018 study in Southeast Asia showed that companies subjected to frequently audits reduced child labor rates by up to 40%. Children will receive an education empowering them to break free from poverty and contribute positively to society. If we continue to ignore this problem, future generations will be trapped in poverty and economics will suffer from an unskilled workforce. Organizations like UNICEF, Save the Children, and ILO, which work to combat child labor, advocate for stricter labor laws in the country, choose ethical consumers, research companies that enforce fair labor laws.